All right, according to NBC News' national security correspondent Courtney Kube, U.S. officials say they believe China may be providing Russia non-lethal military assistance in the Ukraine war. I want to head now back to Munich, where Courtney is standing by for us. Talk about a fissure of the relationship, if in fact this is accurate. And we know specifically Secretary Blinken at one point had said China specifically should not be doing this type of thing. They've been involved with, of course, the war in Ukraine in other ways. But talk us through this reporting, Courtney, what you're learning and how long it's been going on.
And it's not just Secretary Blinken who has warned the Chinese against this. It's come from the highest levels of the U.S. government, from President Joe Biden, also from National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. You may remember last year at this time, the U.S. had some indications that China was considering potentially providing Russia with some sort of help for Ukraine. That was when these conversations between the two sides began. And up until recently, we had heard consistently from U.S. Biden administration officials that they believed that China was listening, that they were not supplying these sorts of any sort of material or military assistance to Russia for use in Ukraine. Now, according to 4 U.S. officials familiar with these discussions, now the U.S. believes that China may be supplying Russia with non-lethal military assistance. The officials declined to say exactly what that assistance was, but said it could be things like body armor, uniform parts, maybe some things that would be particularly useful in this upcoming offensive that Russia has just launched. It does not appear that they have crossed the line into providing lethal assistance, but sources familiar with this warn that they are concerned that China may be considering crossing that line and moving towards lethal assistance. Now, again, it's not clear that they have made that decision, but they are concerned about it. Now, because of this, U.S. officials here in Munich and back in D.C. are having conversations with counterparts, talking to allies about these concerns, and there will be a full court press to try to encourage China not to move forward with any kind of lethal assistance. As far as the non-lethal assistance goes, it's not clear whether it violates any sanctions at this point or whether the Biden administration is considering some follow-on sanctions in response to this, Yasmin.
Okay, so but with all of this, I think, the question that we have been wondering about is, will the Secretary of State be meeting with his Chinese counterpart amidst, obviously, what's been taking place with the Chinese spy balloon and now this new reporting you are bringing to us? I can't help but think the pressure is mounting for them to do just that.
Yes, there's a tremendous amount of pressure for the two men to meet. It's not outside the realm of possible that they'll still meet today here in Munich or this evening here in Munich, but we don't have any confirmation of a meeting on schedule or one taking place at this point. Everyone is waiting to see whether that happens. I will say it's early enough that it's very plausible they still could meet, so we shouldn't rule it out. But if they do, you have to imagine this would be on the topic list, right? Especially because there are reports that Wang Xi, the Chinese counterpart, may be heading to Moscow soon after this. So if in fact the two men meet, you have to imagine this would be on their agenda.
All right, we're actually getting this just in, and Andrea Mitchell is dropping this in our inbox, Court, so you wouldn't have known this while you were on the air, but Andrea Mitchell now reporting that, in fact, the Secretary of State concluded a meeting with PRC State Counselor and Director of the CCP Central Foreign Affairs Office, Wang Yi, on the margins of the Munich Security Conference. What, in fact, they spoke about is the question if, in fact, this new reporting is something they talked about, along with, of course, the Chinese spy balloon. Hopefully we'll get new reporting on that. I know we will, because Courtney Kube and Andrea Mitchell are on it. Court, for now, thank you. Appreciate it.